Radio Bypass, bringing you rock and roll music that deserves to be heard. Discover new bands. Here's some old favorites on Radio Bypass.
You hop inside my car. I got pictures, got candy, I'm a lovable man, and I can take you to the nearest star. I'm your vehicle, baby, I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. I'm your vehicle, woman, by now I'm sure you know that I love you, I need you, I want you, got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love.
Fortune smiled on every kind, and everyone would wish the same as we. I've been drinking too much, been drinking too much, been drinking too much, been drinking too much. Oh, no, that's a dangerous combination.
Hey, Radio Bypass. Our guest today is a musician that I've been a fan of and admired for almost my entire life. He's a prolific songwriter. Many songs he has written have been engraved on my soul, deeply engraved on my soul, and he continues to write incredible songs. I am so honored to be joined by the one and only Jim Peterik. Jim, thanks for coming by Radio Bypass.
Hey, Ralph, so good to talk to you again. And to see you and reminisce and talk about the future too.
Yeah, and that's what's amazing to me, Jim. Knowing that we were going to talk today, I've been kind of going down a Jim Peterik rabbit hole of sorts, going back to some Ides of March stuff, some Survivor stuff, Jim Peterik Band, and then all this, like this album. There we go. This album that you put out, I can't believe this is 23 years ago. Yeah. Is freaking phenomenal too. And it dawned on me, time goes way too quickly, that you've actually, since you started Ides of March all the way back in 1964, this is actually like 7 decades of music written and recorded by Mr. Jim Peterik. It's amazing to me.
Man, I know. And I'm not stopping. You know, everybody says, what was the best song you've ever written? I said, well, hopefully I haven't written it yet.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, of course, you know, there's like the Dirty 20, the ones that really define my career. And I'm always trying to reach those levels and then surpass them, but always give people something new, something fresh, to say, I'm still here, I'm still rocking.
Right. Well, that's what impresses me. I mean, there's many things about you that impress me, but that's definitely one of them, that you just keep going. I mean, you really, how many guys are lucky enough to have one huge hit song? And here you've had two huge hit songs for yourself, you know, bands you've been part of, plus all the other ones that you've had hits with from other folks. And the fact that you've had so many, you don't even need to be doing this. And yet here you are still striving to create. And I know you're still a huge fan of music, of other artists as well. And I just love it. I'm just so glad that you continue to keep rocking.
Well, thanks, Ralph. There's what you need and what you really need. It's not about money. Money is a kind of a reward when you do well. And I'm never going to refuse that stuff, but
Right.
it's really beyond that. It's really about doing what you do, feeling creative, and hearing, hopefully, the good feedback from fans and friends. And then, of course, the stories of old. When I heard Vehicle, I was riding in my 19, whatever car,
Right.
and that came on the radio, and I floored it, Well, that kid was me. When we heard Vehicle, I was going down I-55 and knew from the Ides of March, Vehicle, holy crap. And I'm going down I-55 towards St. Louis, and I swear to God, I was going 90 miles an hour. But
I believe it.
those are the times that you'll never forget.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, you've had an incredible career, no doubt. And that's what I love, though, that it's still going. And that's what I'm excited to talk about a little bit now is you've got a current, just came out this year, Pride of Lions album, one of your, as I put it the other day to somebody, his many projects, because you're such a busy guy. And then coming out in January, I'm kind of very interested in hearing more about this because some of these artists I don't recognize, and I think this is going to be cool. You've got a record coming out called Roots and Shoots, Volume 1.
Yes.
We know there will be more. So tell us about this.
Well, besides Pride of Lions, which is Toby Hitchcock and I, we've been recording since 2003, and we're just fast friends. And Toby's the voice that I wish I had, but as a duet partner, vocally, we're just like, I'm here, he's there, and we blend great. So Pride of Lions is a great franchise for me and Toby, but he's also part of the Jim Peterik Band World Stage Roots and Shoots Volume 2. So we're still rocking. It's so much fun. But yeah, Volume 1 drops, as the kids say, on January 12th on Frontiers, Roots and Shoots. And it varies between the stalwarts. It opens up with Kevin Cronin and I doing a duet called Dangerous Combination, which we wrote together. And it's the new video that you probably saw, which is reaching like 100,000 views right now, which is incredible in this day and age. It's very, very cool. And then Colin Peterik, my son, has got the next track with a song that he and I wrote together called Before Anyone Knows We're Gone. And then Don Barnes of 38 Special, he came to the house right here and worked with Larry and I. And we did a song called Last Dream Home, which Larry and I actually wrote. And Paul Childers, one of the new discoveries out of the New Orleans area. He's living in Nashville now, but I have a kind of a talent scout named Christine Trammell who sends me ideas and people she's discovered in more or less the New Orleans area. So I discovered Paul Childers through her. He came to Chicago and we recorded this incredible song called Forever's the Last Place You Look. Then, of course, the stalwarts, Kelly Kagi of Night Ranger. I've known him, oh my God, well, probably about 50 years now.
I would say very long time. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, that might be maybe 45, but Kelly Kagi has always been the nicest guy. I mean, I ran into a lot of guys that were just a little bit standoffish. Kelly was, hey, Jim, come on over. And he would hug me. And, Night Ranger would be playing and Survivor would be playing together on the same bill. And Kelly always stood out as being just a wonderful person. So it's great to be working with him again. Ashton Brooke Gill, who's one of my new discoveries.
That's somebody I've not been familiar with. Tell us about Ashton.
Yeah, Ashton is amazing. I found her through Christine Trammell, who discovered her in the New Orleans area. And she's like, 24 years old. I mean, she's really a newbie. But I heard her voice. I said, oh my God. And I wrote a song with a co-writer of mine named Bill Sinar. And it's called As I Am. And it's, it's an anthem of sorts. Basically the message, of course, is what I am and what I'm not. Whatever I am, take me as I am, as is, And I think a lot of people can relate to just accepting people,
Right.
So that's a big deal. And then, of course, Mark Farner, who's my hero ever since the Grand Funk days, right?
Right. And he's a really nice guy.
Oh, yeah. Farner is a great guy. And we wrote a song together called Friends Forever. And, as opposed to, you would think it might be like a hard rock or something, but it's like, friends forever, I find the feeling. It's just 6/8 time, and him and I duetting, and it's just a good feeling song between old friends, really.
Right.
So, I mean, this album is chock full of good stuff. Leslie Hunt, who I discovered when she was 15, and now she's still young, early 30s. But Leslie Hunt's an amazing female singer, and I wrote a song for her called Suddenly. And then Mark McKay, who, how did I find Mark? Oh, I played New Orleans, and Mark was on the show, and he had this great Taylor guitar. And I said, after the show, man, I want one like that. He said, man, I'll hook you up. I got a franchise with Taylor. And okay. But also I realized how talented of a singer Mark McKay is.
Right.
And then the last track on the album is called Fire and Water. And that's two Chicago artists, Dave Mikulskis, who has just a rock and a cover band in town. He's just a great singer. And Lisa McLaury, I think you probably remember her name. I've done 2 albums, 3 albums with Lisa. Just a great singer. She is kind of making a living as a Cher tribute act. And she has Cher down like so great. But the funny story, Ralph, is that when she was in the studio a few months ago, she was singing with Dave Mikulskis, and they're doing this duet that I wrote for them called Fire and Water. And I said, I hit playback. I said, Lisa, you're doing Cher. No, I'm not. And I said, yes, you don't know it, but you're still doing Cher. And, after about a half hour, I got the Cher out of her and the Lisa back. And we were laughing about it. But
that's funny.
No matter what, she's an amazing singer. And so is Dave Mikulskis.
Yeah, well, that's why I cannot wait to hear this record, because through your world stage, I made almost all of them. I've missed a couple, but when you started that back in 2000, I saw some of these people that I had not been familiar with. Your house band too. Mike Aquino on guitar and all the your bass play. I mean, just everybody, just phenomenal musicians. And I'm like, Jim Peterik, my God, does he have an ear? Because every person that you've brought to the forefront at these shows just blew me away, including Lisa.
Wow, you're very, very well versed. This is great. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, no. Your band blew me. That first world stage show, I've seen you play lots of times. I've seen you with Survivor. I've seen you with Ides of March. I think I even caught the Jim Peterik Band once, possibly at the Thirsty Whale.
That was one of our main menus there.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you made a boo-boo in your book. For the Thirsty Whale. You got Villa Park. It's River Grove.
Oh my! You're the first one that's called me on that. Thanks a lot.
Sorry, man. I grew up going to the Whale.
You think that's a boo-boo? I had Colin's birthday wrong too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, people go, hey, I didn't know you had a Halloween birthday. No, it wasn't October 31st. It was August 30th. Close enough.
Close enough, yeah.
He still laughs at it, you know. I said, now you got 2 birthdays, you know.
There you go. I like that idea.
Yeah.
But no, that first World Stage show was the first time I saw, you know, that like your house band, as I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Your drummer, of course, I was familiar with. I've seen him play with other folks before.
Eddie Bruckenfeld, yeah.
Yep. But Mike Aquino I had not seen before. Your bass player I had not seen before. And I'm like, holy cow. And then, you know, all the different singers you brought up, and Kevin Chalfant, I probably should have known him already by then, but I didn't.
Right.
So he blew me away. And then I forget what, I don't think it was the first one, but one of them is when you had Lisa there, and she blew me away. Leslie Hunt was at one of them I was at. She blew me away. I mean, it's just, you have just a knack for finding really gifted musicians.
Well, thank you. I'm a very lucky guy, believe me. But, you know, I wanted to mention one thing. I don't have specific information yet, but on March 15th, the Ides of March turned 60 years together.
That's right. Yeah,
years.
64. Yeah.
Yeah, 64. And we're going to have a big show. It's we haven't announced it yet, but it's going to be with Symphony, which is going to
be interesting.
Really cool. I mean, part of it will be, you know, maybe without Symphony, and then 12 songs are going to be full blown, and it'll span the Ides career, my career, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Awesome. My guess is the Arcada Theater or the Displays Theater, or both, will be seeing that one probably.
Neither, but that's okay. It's another great venue, though.
Well, hey, I've had to temporarily relocate to California, so can you come out here and do it so I can come easily?
If you book us, we'll be there.
Okay, you got it.
Oh man.
Yeah, just amazing. And you know, your big songs, like we've talked about, you know, Vehicle obviously started everything for you, and you were just a kid. Now you probably didn't feel that way then, but you look back on it now, I can't believe, or you wouldn't listen even. I mean, what were you?
Well, there you go. Yeah, Larry's sitting right there, and he's the duet partner on that. He would do the "I told you he was a fool, you wouldn't listen to me. He'll break your," you know. I mean, we still do those songs live, and everybody loves them. You know.
Yeah, but it just never occurred to me when I was a young guy just how young you guys were creating these songs, you know.
Well, I was 18 when I wrote that song, trying to win my girlfriend back, you know, and long story, which for another day, but I won her back, and 51 years later, we're still married. So I guess it worked.
Yep, there you go. You've had a very successful marriage for sure.
Yeah, thank God.
But, you know, yeah, so, you know, Eye of the Tiger, Vehicle, huge songs, a lot of hits for others, like I said. But I got to tell you, a lot of the stuff you've written in the 21st century, too, have deeply touched me, like Changed by Love that you did with Don Barnes. Beautiful. And then this, I had told you this at this World Stage Show, and I don't know if you can see, but you autographed this for me, but you wrote "We Wish" on here.
Oh, wow.
And that's because I told you how much that song blew my mind. And I still feel that way when I listen to it still today. It still gives me like chills. It's just such a beautiful song. And I love the positivity that you always bring into your lyrics.
Well, thank you. That song is still on our, especially the Ides play it, but especially at the Christmas season. We got 2 big Christmas shows coming up. You know, one at Three Oaks, Michigan, and then one in Chicago at the Displays Theater, Ron Displays Theater.
Right.
And we're bringing on Toby Hitchcock of Pride of Lions for that show, and he's coming on with us for various songs that'll just blow everybody's mind, and then we're out there doing. You know, it's like, oh my God, brings down the house.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I wish I could be there for that. And speaking of Toby, another great song on the new Pride of Lions album, I love Dream Higher.
Oh yeah, well, that's the anthem of the whole album, you know, really, because that's always been my goal, dream higher, dream big. I'm glad you like that one. It's one of my favorites on the record.
Yeah,
Is that
so
the name
much.
of yeah, I love that song. I
Yeah.
think that's the name of the album, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is.
What a
But-
coincidence.
Yeah, isn't it though?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should probably wrap things up. I don't want to keep you too long.
Where did you get that shirt with Survivor on? Is
So
that a shirt?
this, I
Or
think
it's a
this came,
vest?
yeah. So this, you'll see this Road Dogg here. I don't believe he was working for Survivor when you were still part of it, but I guess I'll ask you, did you know my cousin, Scott Hanks?
It's not ringing a bell.
Yeah, I think he started working for the band after your
After 96.
departure.
Yeah.
Um,
That's probably why.
he did work for them for a long time, and unfortunately, I lost him last year to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh, no.
And so his daughter knew how close, even though he was my cousin, we were like brothers and we were so close. So she wanted me to make sure that I got all his rock and roll shirts. And so this was a shirt that Survivor had made up some years ago. It says Road Crew on the back and stuff. So I took over all his rock and roll clothing, which makes me feel good, But yeah, he worked for the band for, I think, for Frankie, more or less, really, for
Right.
like 20 years or something.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's where I got this.
Nice. I was wondering. It's a nice shirt.
It is.
Vest
It
or
is.
whatever it is. Yeah.
And that was Scotty's nickname, Road Dogg, because if he wasn't on the road with Survivor, he was on the road with somebody else. He was always out there hustling.
Well, may you rock in peace,
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 He was a great guy. I wish you had been around when he was working with you. You'd have loved him too, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm
But
sure.
anyway, all right. So January 12th, 2024, Roots and Shoots, Volume 1. Everybody keep an eye out for that. And I think, do you have pre-orders now or ready for it? I think you do, right? Or Frontiers does.
I'm not sure. It's not my expertise to know that, but I'm
I
not
believe
sure.
so.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm looking at all this information I have here. Well, maybe not a pre-order yet, but keep an eye out for it. Obviously, we'll be posting it on the Radio Bypass social media stuff too when it's available. But look for Roots and Shoots, Volume 1. Roots for Shoots, yeah,
That too.
exactly. And Jim, I'm so happy that you had a little time for Radio Bypass today. It's been an absolute honor having you
Oh
on.
man, I'm telling you, it's great to talk to someone who's so knowledgeable about music and about my career in the Ides and Survivor. And you didn't mention Sammy Hagar, one of my favorite.
Well, and of course, the radio station I used to work at, WVVX, we were a heavy metal hard rock station. So did heavy metal get a lot of airplay? Yes, it did.
Hell yeah. And it was a great interview. I'm going to leave you with this. Headbangers in leather, sparks flying in the dead of the night. It all comes together when they shoot out the lights. Yeah, ba, 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 ba. 50,000 watts of power.
Love it. Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're
for that.
welcome.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. I mean, we could go for hours if we tried to talk about everybody who've written songs with Sammy, Cheap Trick, on and on and on. Just amazing. But
Thank you.
but
Thank you,
yeah.
man. Well,
Yeah.
you're great, and thanks for following my career in the Ides and the whole bit,
For sure. And thank you for continuing to put music out there for our ears.
Hell yeah. Maybe we'll see you very soon, in March. It's going to be a big Ides of March show. But then a few months later, we're going to do a world stage with a lot of amazing guests.
Yeah. And guys, Radio Bypass guys that are checking this out, if you've never been to a world stage show, you got to go. I've been to a bunch of them, and every one is just such an enjoyable thing. And you amaze me too with the energy you have, because I think all of those have clocked in somewhere close to 3 hours or around the 3 hour mark.
Yeah, you're right. And it doesn't seem like that. It goes by in a blink of an eye, really.
Yeah, yeah. Your energy, your enthusiasm, your positivity, it's all very infectious. So thanks for being a positive influence on me.
Well, you're great. Thank you for everything and the history that we share.
Absolutely.
Rock on, brother.
You too, Jim. Thank you. Everybody,
Thank you.